Quinyon Mitchell, we talk about not having a CB2, and that's very true. What Quinyon is capable of doing when you're drafting later in the drafts, I mean, that sets the tone for the secondary. I know Zach Bond does, and Cooper DeJean does too, and that really does reflect how phenomenal this is you can make the argument it's Bond. You can make the argument it's, DeJean, Coop. You can make the argument it's some of these other guys. But the fact that you have Q locking up the best team's wide receiver in that fashion, where he was getting pissed, he was getting annoyed, he was getting bothered. You could tell the frustration all throughout the game. And I think he showed that frustration that was bottled up, where he did have the 77-yard touchdown or so. You could see his body sort of exhausted from all of the pain and suffering of Q being at his neck all day long. But your ability to plug and play Q everywhere and him excelling and actually executing that efficiently at such a hard position, going up against lethal weapons, that allows so much more activity throughout every other layer and every other player on your defense. Because if you don't have that, I don't know. Maybe you don't get as many Zach Bond hits or Cooper DeJean hits because wide receiver one's open. Because the other team's number one target in their first read in the progression's open. And you're dealing with, guys flying all around in the secondary making plays. Because you don't have someone who can lock down and move around the field and cover at an elite clip.